Today's video is on independent and dependent variables. So the first thing I have are some definitions. Please copy these into your spiral. An independent variable is a variable whose value determines or controls the dependent variable. Okay, it is in control of the situation. Some features of the independent variable: it is always x on a table or graph, and it's what we need to know first in order to answer the question. So a lot of times we're going to be talking about we need to know how much time has passed to determine how much money you're going to get paid. You know, how many hours have you worked? That determines how much money you get paid. So time is often an independent variable, a common independent variable. Trying to think of other things that are common. Time is the biggest one, the number of hours, okay? But it's what we need to know first to answer the question. Dependent variables. It's a variable whose value depends on the value of the independent variable. It depends on it. It is always y on a table or graph, and it's what we measure or what we're looking for. So after something has happened, the dependent variable is the result. So often it's what we're measuring, what we're looking for. So they're going to say, if you get paid $5 an hour and you've worked 10 hours, what are you finding? You're finding the dependent variable, how much money you've made over those 10 hours. Okay, so dependent variables are what we're looking for. It depends on the independent. If you need to, pause the video so that you can finish copying these down. All right, a few examples. We're going to pick out the independent and dependent variable in each one of these, and then we're going to create a table and an equation for each one as well. Independent and dependent. All right, a babysitter earns $10 per hour. All right, so what do we need to know first before we can determine what's going on? A question that they might ask here is, how much did the babysitter earn in 4 hours? Okay, so what they're looking for is how much they're earning. So since that's what we're looking for, that's our dependent. So this is the money earned. It depends on how many hours she works. So the independent is the number of hours. The number of hours controls the amount of money earned. The money earned depends on the number of hours she works, or he. All right, so let's make a table for this. We would have x and y. Now remember, the independent variable is always x, so this is our hours. The dependent variable is y, that's our money. So let's say the babysitter worked 1 hour. We know that they make $10. I don't need the dollar sign. Okay, because it's $10 per hour, so that's for 1 hour. So if they work 2 hours, that'd be $20. 3 hours is $30. 4 hours is $40. All right, so then we find the pattern or the relationship within the table. So every time I have x, I have to multiply times 10 to get y. 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20. 3 times 10 is 30. 4 times 10 is 40. That's a multiplicative relationship. So my equation always starts with y equals, and since it's multiplicative, I'm going to put the number first, 10, and then x, meaning 10 times whatever x is. All right, let's look at number 2. A train travels 100 miles in 2 hours. Again, a question they might ask is, how far will it go in 4 hours, or how far will it go in 6 hours? So the time has to happen first, right? We have to have time, or hours passing, so number of hours, again, is our independent. Like I said before, time is often going to be your independent variable. The dependent variable is going to be your number of miles. So whenever we stop, my dog's eating things. So whenever we create our table, we keep in mind that x is our independent, so that's hours. Y is our dependent, which is miles. All right, let's fill this in. So we know if the train has gone 2 hours, it's been 100 miles. So let's think back, if it had gone only for 1 hour, that's probably going to be 50 miles, right? Half of that. 3 would be 150. 4 would be 200. So we look for our relationship. It looks like we're taking our hours and multiplying times 50, times 50, times 50. Alright, so our equation is going to be y equals 50x, meaning take 50, multiply it times x, and that gives you your value for y. Last one. A team earns $4 for every 2 cookies sold at their fundraiser. Okay, again, something they might be looking for is how much money do they earn if they sell 100 cookies. So the money that they're earning is the dependent. It depends on the number of cookies sold. So if you can ask yourself, how much money did they make? And you have to say, it depends. That means it's the dependent variable. It depends. All right, x, y for our table. Our independent is x, that's the cookies. Our dependent is y, that's the money. So if they sell 2 cookies, they get $4, which means if they sell 1 cookie, it's $2. 3 cookies would be, 1 cookie, $2, 2 cookies, $4, 3 cookies would be $6, and 4 cookies would be $8. So it looks like our relationship is times 2, times 2, times 2, times 2. Alright, so that means our y is going to equal 2x. Now I did 3 examples, all multiplicative. You will see some additive relationships tomorrow. Those are just a bit harder to explain out. So we'll look at those tomorrow. But that is how we do independent and dependent, and also how we do our tables and equations, getting our equations from the tables. So make sure you have some of these examples in your spiral and the vocabulary words.